Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-June 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card just to dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Geminis. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Gemini in Gemini season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini. Early to mid-June, what's the energy, what's the vibe? And while we get this first card out, I just want to wish you all a very happy birthday from me to you. Whether it's already passed, whether it's still coming up, I hope you have a great birthday. Okay, on to Creepy Alice. Okay, who in the world are you? There's a lot of questioning going on whenever I see this card. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be confusion. There's just a lot of thought process happening here, which is very Gemini-esque, if you ask me. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about the card. Now, I always say with this deck in particular, we don't just have to go with the words or the image alone. It's kind of an intuitive type of oracle deck, which I prefer. I think it's really cool. But yeah, just the whole vibe this has given me is like a lot of questioning. So for some of you, there could just be a situation you're going through where it's like, all right, I need to see this from every single angle. What are the possible outcomes? I just get like a ton of thought process happening here. And again, it doesn't have to be you. It could be someone you're connected to. Extremely active mindset. Now, for some Geminis, maybe you're in a process yourself where it's like self-exploration, you're finding yourself, so to speak. That could be literal when we see a card like this. But to me, it's like I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm thinking a lot of things. I'm analyzing quite a bit. So again, it feels similar to like the Hanged Man / Page of Swords to me, where there's just like constant analysis of something. Okay. Now, as long as you're not overthinking it too much, that's totally fine. But we're just going to leave her over there. Tons of mental action already. Let's let her keep thinking. Right, let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card over here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Geminis. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It felt pretty positive to me, especially during your birthday season. The reading was titled A Massive Win, so I really hope you had one. To me, I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes it could be work and business. Sometimes it's personal relationships. But I felt like a wave of positive energy coming in towards Gemini. So keep your eyes open. Even if you didn't collect one yet, that could still pop up for you in the coming weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Gemini. We're going to hope to keep this positive wave rolling in. We'll take whatever we get, right? That's just how we roll. Okay, a little bit of mystery starting off with the moon. Okay, I always find that very intriguing, especially with that card we had about questioning things. And now we have the moon, which is super subtle. And I don't want to say it's secretive. It's just a hidden type of energy. Okay, let's get a couple more here. Let's start building this picture. What do we have for Gemini? I mean, it could be a good moon, that's for sure. Okay, strength. So big Leo energy right there in the center. Tons of major arcana. Lots of spiritual energy for you this week. Let's get one more, and we'll piece it all together for you, my friends. I like strength. I mean, Knight of Wands, lots of fire for you this week too, which can be good. I'm feeling very neutral about this so far. I don't want to say, oh yeah, this is going to be amazing. And I don't want to say it's going to be a bad thing either. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I was already commenting as the cards were coming out. Elementally, we have a nice little mixture going on here. I'd say most of this is within your comfort zone, because we have strength and then the Knight of Wands, big fire energy right here. Now, fire is a complementary energy to air signs like yourself. So I feel like this is an energy, you could work with it, you could roll with it. we do have this water right here on the front end, which is the realm of emotions and feelings. And then especially the moon, it's super subtle. So it's like we have a very in-your-face, intense type of energy, and then there's something more subtle underneath the surface. So I feel like there's a certain complexity here. And obviously we have the two major arcana, which could represent big themes that you're going through. So let's go through this piece by piece, really start to build it out. So position number one, let's start off with the moon. So classically, this connects to the zodiac sign of Pisces and Cancer, depending on the reader. I give it to both of them. When I see that, if you're not connected to any of those, if you don't have those placements yourself, I always say the moon is a very subtle, soft type of energy. It could speak about energetic awareness. It could be empathetic. So if you're the type of person where you're very sensitive to energies, this card says, like, all right, that could be amplified a little bit here, Gemini. You could be feeling things a little more intensely, or you could be picking up the vibes and feelings of those that you're connected to when the moon is here. It's soft, it's loving, it's caring, but the only downside to this card is it's obscured, right? Like the moon isn't like the sun. It's not like what you see is what you get. To me, it says there's more here. It is my biggest card of mystery. So I always see it, I'm like, all right, it could be unexpected things popping up. Hopefully it's good things. Could be things that are surprising and all that good stuff too. But it could also be secretive, where it's like, I'm going to keep this quiet for now. So we do want to look at this. To me, I'm feeling very neutral about the moon. It's just showing us something that's unknown as of this moment, potentially. Now, moving to the center, we have a different type of vibe, that's for sure. We have the Strength card, big Leo energy, and Leo's ruled by the sun. So it's like we have this little soft, obscure energy, and then we have this powerful sun-based type of vibe right here in the center. So there's two extremes of energy showing up. Now, if you're not connected to Leo, you see this beautiful angelic figure, and she's wrestling with that lion. She has the infinity symbol over her head, which does imply that it's a karmic energy as well. To me, the positives of this, it's courageous. This talks about somebody that has a lot of inner strength. So it's something like if you've been going through some things, situations, stuff like that, strength to me is staying power, where it's like, you know what, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. I will go through this with love. I will go through this with care and patience. It's someone, it could also just represent someone that has a really great personality and head on their shoulders too. Now, strength can also show up when we're resisting things. So there could be certain things where it's like, I'm resisting this, I'm pushing this away, or I'm holding back. That's a big vibe I always think of with this card. And oftentimes the challenge of this could be temptation, where it's like if there is something you've been holding back from, that could start poking its head up. Or if there's something that you have dealt with, strength comes around, it's like a test from the universe. Like, okay, let's see how you are, Gemini, test your strength. So we'll want to see what this is, that's for sure. And it's that strong, fiery type of element right there in the center. Now, moving to the back end, as we get strength tucked right back in where it belongs, we have the fiery Knight of Wands, so big fire sign energy. So again, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, could be any of those placements here. And Knights, they're all about action. They're all about taking action, making moves. The Knight of Wands is a very fast mover. So again, if you're not connected to a fire sign, this is an action, it's fast. And that's the thing with a lot of fire energy. You could work with it, but it's just very intense. It happens quickly. So it can be a little explosive. It can be a little volatile. So when we go from like a quiet, subtle card like the moon into all this fire, I'm like, whoa, what's happening? What's coming in? Because something's coming in quick. Now, the Knight of Wands could also be a messenger. It could be a communication. As far as personality traits, the Knight of Wands could be very outgoing. It's like a party animal type of vibe, where someone, they just like to have a good time, center of attention. But it doesn't always have to be a person. To me, it could either be a conversation or just an action that someone's taking. So again, with all the combination we have going here, there could be things like popping up that aren't even on your radar at the moment, which, depending on the situation, could be really good, but it could also be a little challenging. So I want to dive deeper on all the Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. What do we got? My guides and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. And I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the moon. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the moon here, please? Thank you. Yeah, all right. So we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. This to me is like screaming something that pops back up, and I was already alluding to it a little earlier with the Strength card in the center, where it's like, I'm away, now I'm back. Here I am. It's like giving me that kind of vibe, which is really peculiar. Now, usually the Eight of Cups represents like someone walking away, right? Like you see the person, they're walking away from the cups, and in reverse, it's either an energy that's staying. So for some of you, it could be a situation you're dealing with. If you're nervous about it progressing or moving on or moving away, this could be spirit saying like, no, 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 that you're still connected to this energy. You're still dealing with this energy. But the fact that it's in reverse underneath the moon, it's just screaming like surprising or unexpected return of something. Now, again, not just trying to tell you like, oh yeah, this is a person. Could be a situation. It could be something that you've dealt with before, and it rears its head. We were kind of seeing that here with the Strength card, where it's like there could be a temptation of some kind. So especially in the short term, depending on what your situation is, just know that there could be a lot of things from the past popping back up. And I've been seeing this for a lot of signs in recent weeks. So it looks like you might be up to bat here. So watch out for the surprising, unexpected returns, because it's showing up in the front. But let's see what else shows up. Again, that's not where the reading ends. That's just a little piece of it. Very simple, very straightforward. For some of you, I will say this, totally different message. If there is a situation that we've been seeing early on where it's like, I need to keep digging, I need to find something. If you feel like there's a piece of information eluding you and you're like in investigation mode, that's kind of how this feels to me too, where it's like, I'm digging, I'm not letting go of it. I will figure this out. It kind of feels like trying to solve a mystery. So I know that's out there, totally different from the other message, but it's showing up here. So you might need to keep your mind preoccupied in this time. But let's go in on strength. Let's go in on strength. Thank you. It's an energy that's like, all right, we'll just take it easy, be calm, be very, very calm here, Gemini. Ace of Wands in reverse underneath the Strength card. You might need to let something just simmer down for a second. It could be an alignment of patience happening here. I like all aces, even in reverse. They do represent potential and opportunities and stuff like that. But remember, this is fiery. It's explosive, just like all this fire energy on the back. When we see it in reverse underneath the Strength card, it's screaming a test of some kind, where Spirit's like, just keep your head about you, keep calm. You need to keep even-keeled about something. Now, I know, Gemini, your sign is very good and very powerful at analyzing perspectives. There's just something here in the center about taking the middle road or middle ground. Okay, so it's like, all right, well, don't be too detached, don't be too attached, don't do too much of this, don't do too much of that. It's like neutral. You need to ride the fence with something. Either that or it's just Spirit trying to reassure and calm you. For some of you, that could be part of the message too, like with Strength, Ace of Wands in reverse. This screams like everything's going to be okay. Calm down. Take a breath. Like it's giving me that kind of vibe. So again, I'm not sure how that fits into your situation, but if something does pop back in or pop back up, Spirit's kind of urging you to just like take a breath. Think before you act type of energy. Let's keep moving. Let's see what's up with the Knight of Wands. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Yeah, so this is going a little different than I thought it would. It's okay though. But yeah, watch out for delays too, like with this energy in the front where it's not moving, this one's not really moving. So watch out for situations that might seem like they're a little hung up or there's little delays as well. But let's see what's up with the Knight of Wands and we'll do our recap. Quick, super quick. Whoa, okay. So we have the Devil in reverse underneath this Knight of Wands. That is a very, very fast change. That is a very, very fast, like explosive change of some kind. It's just showing up here powerfully. So the Devil in reverse is a good way that we want to receive this card. That's for sure. For some of you, you might be connected to Capricorn. When I see the Devil, usually it's planted, and yeah, it could mean a whole bunch of things. It could be warnings, it could be talks, it could be this, it could be that. But to me, the main thing I always think of the Devil, it's like planted. It's something that's there, it's set in its ways, it's not changing. So when I see it in reverse, surrounded by all this fire, it's like a very fast, explosive or sudden change, or shift in energy. So again, watch out for situations in this time. We have two big extremes where one might seem like it's not really doing much, and then boom, all of a sudden, boom, everything starts kicking in. So whether this is like explosive or sudden change or even action, like someone making a move where it's like, okay, that escalated quickly. That's how it feels to me. It goes from like nothing to everything quickly. Okay, so now I see why Spirit's like, keep it calm, calm it down, middle ground, middle road, because the energy just ramps up, boom, out of nowhere right here on the back. So the devil, if it was in the upright, I'd be a little concerned underneath this Knight of Wands, because I'd be like, no, I'd be very cautious and careful here. But the fact that it's in reverse underneath this Knight of Wands, that's the main feeling. It's either an explosive, sudden change or shift in energy. Okay, so just watch the situations you're dealing with, because it could go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. That's how it feels to me. It just picks up steam super, super quick. So I think if you keep a nice centered approach, you're going to be cool. Let's go through and do a quick recap. So intriguing how this energy presented itself this week, and I guess it depends on your situation, but if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, I had 2 main messages here. Of course, for some of you this could be indicative of an unexpected or surprising return of something or someone potentially. For another portion of you, I also get like this scouring through information, detective mode. I will figure this out and I'm not letting it go. So there could be a topic where it's like you're locked in, you're locked on. Moving to the center, and yeah, possible delays here up front. We have strength with the Ace of Wands in reverse here. Very calming from Spirit, like, hey, Gemini, relax, everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be fine, very reassuring. But another vibe I was getting here is your responses in this time should be more of like gray area, where it's like neutral, like not too extreme either way. Moving to the back end, and as we can see why, we have the Knight of Wands with the Devil in reverse, that explosive shift or change of energy, or someone making a move out of nowhere. It goes from like nothing to everything really, really quickly. So I guess depending on your situation, that could be a great thing. Some of you, it might be a little uncomfortable because it picks up quickly. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. Let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What's in the shadows for my Gemini friends? What is in the shadows? Thank you. Yeah, just a very rapid type of energy. It's just showing up here. So in the shadows, you have the Tower. And don't get too nervous about this. This is a very common shadow card to draw. Maybe you have some Scorpio placements. Maybe you're connected to Scorpio. But remember, the Tower represents shock. So whether this is a Tower moment you've already experienced and it's still lingering in the energy, Spirit could just be acknowledging that for sure. But I feel like it just builds off of what we've seen within the main part of the reading, where it goes from like really quiet, really restrained to boom, lots of stuff happening quickly, really, really quickly, because that's exactly the MO of the Tower. So what I think this reassurance we have in the middle is a really good thing from Spirit. Like, listen, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. But the Tower energy is here. It's showing up. So we're just going to put it right there for now, my Gemini friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The June calendar is open, so you can go check for availability. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments if you could manifest something right now instantly, what would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.